Welcome to Guided Growth TV. I'm Sylvia Arrington, and today we're going to talk about baby development. We're going to discuss 3 topics about baby development. The first topic being the myth about babies being bored and having to entertain them. Number 2, we're going to talk about mouthing and how to really read the signs of communication that your baby or infant toddler is trying to tell you. And number 3, we're going to talk about tummy time, sitting and standing. So, number 1, the myth about babies being bored. Let me tell you something. Babies do not get bored. Okay, there's a common myth that parents have to entertain their baby because, they've got to keep them entertained, they've got to do fun things for them and all that. But what we don't realize is that the whole world is a wealth of discovery for infants and young toddlers. So the tiny little pieces of fluff that appear on your carpet, the molding on the wall, like at the baseboards, the little lump in your carpet that you had no idea was there, a bit of fabric that's a string that's being pulled off your couch, all of those things are a wealth of discovery for your infant. And what it's actually doing is that it's really allowing them to have really long periods of focus and attention span. So that self-directed learning is really how they are going to build that focus and attention and keep themselves so occupied because everything is so new to them. So they're learning about patterns, textures, different types of textures even on the wall or the carpet. Regardless of what it is, these things are the things that are the most fascinating to babies. And we as an adult might think, really? You really want to play with that piece of string that's hanging off the couch? Why don't you, play with all these entertaining toys that we think is going to actually promote their development and learning? But if we actually allow them and follow the child and really see and observe what it is that they're interested in, you will actually discover a whole new world that you didn't even know existed. All right, topic number 2, mouthing. So we're going to talk about mouthing because I know a lot of parents might think that, their infant or toddler, young toddler, puts everything in their mouth and they're licking everything and they're sucking on everything and they're touching everything. Let me tell you that this is actually how infants and babies are learning. So the biggest organ that they have is their skin and their mouth. So when they put things in their mouth, they're trying to figure out, what is it? What does it feel like? What does it taste like? What different types of textures is it? And this is how it gets communicated to their brain. And this is actually how they learn about the world around them. So next time you see your baby mouthing something, it means they're exploring it and developing. Now, obviously, there are some items that are not really that appropriate for mouthing. So these are the things that we take away from the baby and offer them something else that is appropriate to mouth. In terms of communication, so babies can really tell you a lot if you look at them and you observe them for a while. So the biggest thing with observation with a baby is that you look for subtle movements. So if you do offer them something and you think it's age appropriate and it's something they might like to grasp and they're not really grasping it or they don't like it or they just don't do anything, it's indicating to you that they might not be developing that skill at that moment, or they might not be interested in that specific sense that you might think that they are. So if they don't do anything with that item or object, it means that they're not interested in it. So you can just pack it away and offer them something else. And then when they are ready for that, maybe you can bring it out again and try again. Something that tells you that your baby is interested is if they grunt, they make noises, they kick their arms and their legs, they squeal, their eyes, get really wide. Things like that can indicate to you that they're really having a good time and they absolutely love what you've given them. So those types of communications are really important. And when it comes to mouthing, I know sometimes you really don't want them to lick a switch or something like that, or a little baseboard or whatever it is. So do offer them something that they can explore and mouth, because this is just a stage where they really are trying to learn about the world around them. Number 3, tummy time, sitting and pulling to stand. Now, I know a lot of parents are worried and concerned that their child is not meeting specific milestones when compared to other children. Now, let me tell you, the first thing that's really important when we are encouraging our children to sit or pull to stand, or even on tummy time, is the fact that we don't force them or put them in a situation or a position that their body is not naturally already in. So for example, using things like baby walkers where you place your child inside the walker, or a jumperoo or a bumbo seat that actually props up your baby, is actually hindering their development. And it's not actually great because it puts a lot of stress on their muscles that might not be ready to be in that position. So it really is about independence and allowing them freedom of movement so they can actually naturally develop their muscles and being able to be in that position on their own. So in terms of tummy time, it's a great idea to put your baby on their tummy so that they can develop their core muscles, their strength. They also prop up their neck so that they really are developing all of those muscles that are really much needed for when it comes to sitting and standing. Now, it's not a race. So I know a lot of the time we compare to other children, our family's kids, our neighbors' kids, our nieces and nephews and all that, but children will sit up naturally when they're ready to do so. So the best way to encourage it is by placing them on tummy time at a young age. They'll start rolling left and right. And if they are fussing a little bit when they are in tummy time, you can encourage them by using encouraging words such as, you can do it. I know it's a little bit hard. You're a bit frustrated, on your belly. You won't be there much longer, and then, flip them over and then try again for a couple of minutes. Look, 1 minute to 5 minutes is huge for a baby anyway. So we need to kind of take down our expectations of a baby needing to be there for 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time. Some babies are just not able to be in that position for long periods of time. And that's okay. The most important thing that we can do is encourage them using that effective praise. Or we can also put some items that they might like to grasp or mouth right around them to encourage them to be on their tummy for a little bit longer. There are some contrast cards that you can use, or some items of interest. Also, it's important to prepare the environment for these milestones. So if your child is sitting or crawling or pulling to stand, that we have things in their environment that can help support this development to happen naturally. So in terms of pulling to stand, setting up some low furniture around the room so that they're able to pull up on those stable things, or using something like a pull-up bar with a mirror. And that way they can really encourage and a self-directed learning in terms of pulling themselves up on a stable surface and cruising along, until they're ready to take their first few steps. So I hope that's helped you in terms of baby development. Thanks for watching Guide and Grow TV. Until next time, take care.